this year's been a big year for change for me. I moved from Exeter in the West Country to London. Anyone else done that? I thought you might have done. I noticed a lot of changes between those two places. For example, in London, there's a lot of Wi-Fi hotspots popping up everywhere. They're turning London into a Wi-Fi city ready for the Olympics. In the West Country, Wi-Fi is just another name for witchcraft. I mean, trust technology down there. I knew a guy with Bluetooth, they burnt him as a witch. Another one, in London, some people might be surprised if you told them you're dating a work colleague, whereas in the West Country, nobody's surprised if you tell them you're dating your cousin or your sister. They're not fussy down there. But that said, in the West Country, you would never see somebody dressed smartly as a businessman push an old lady to the ground before boarding public transport, whereas in London, it's just your average Monday morning commute, isn't it? I'm not a massive fan of commuting in London, personally. In the last year, I found that public transport in London isn't set up to deal with any of the 4 seasons. You know, I'm not talking about mushrooms, pepperoni. I'm talking about the weather, which is ridiculous because it happens in the same way every year. You'd think they'd be able to adapt. But they haven't adapted yet. I got here in the summer last year, and very early on I had a train cancelled, and I went, why is my train being cancelled? And he said, it's too hot. It's been cancelled because of the heat, the tracks are melted or some bullshit, and that's why you're going to be late to work. Right, I'll tell my boss that, cheers, too hot, it was too hot. Autumn came along, my train got cancelled. I was like, okay, why's my train being cancelled this time? Is it too hot? And he's like, oh, it's autumn, leaves. Leaves on the track. You didn't fucking see that coming, did we? It happens every year, but God, it took us by surprise. Winter came along, train got cancelled. I was like, why is my train cancelled this time? And the guy was like, and I quote, he said, irregular snow. Irregular snow then, that would have been perfectly fine. I didn't set up for that. Oh no, last year we had irregular snow. I'm not quite sure what that is. I presume it was hot snow. And everyone was so freaked out by the irregularity of this fucking hot snow. My train took around hours later. Okay, I got to spring, my train was cancelled. I was like, fuck this. Went up and was like, why is my train cancelled this time? Actually, don't tell me, let me think. Spring. Was it lambs? Was there baby lambs on the track? Maybe that's what it. Maybe daffodils. Did daffodils surprise you? And he was like, no. A man threw himself in front of the train. Like, oh, shit. Just out of interest, did he jump or did he sprint? I'm glad you laughed at that. He didn't. I quite enjoy being here in London because it gives me the opportunity to do things like this and other things that I haven't had the opportunity to do before. A couple of weeks ago, I ran the London Half Marathon. You get a good time. Good, you too. So that was great, and I started off, and I was running for Friendship Works, a fantastic children's charity, and I started off listening to Robbie and Kylie singing "Doing It for the Kids," and I was like, I'm doing it for the kids! 8 miles in, I felt less like I was doing it for the kids. I was exhausted, sweating. I'd just got overtaken genuinely by a woman dressed as a giant penis. I started to wonder whether these kids were really fucking worth it. You know, they weren't disabled. There's nothing wrong with them. They could have run 13 miles for money if they really wanted it. Where the fuck were they? I should have said this out loud. It made me look like a dick. Not as much of a dick as the woman dressed as a dick, but still. It was okay. It was okay. What I also didn't realise was just how much. Chapped lips is a problem for people running races. There were paramedics all the way along the course with tubs of Vaseline. Now, I had a cold, so I put it on. It helped. I think that Vaseline was overkill, personally. There was a woman who ran past that I saw, and she just took a scoop and put her hand down the top and rubbed it on her nipples. And I thought, she is game. Yeah, she wasn't. But I did think being chased by those police can help my time. That's the 2-hour mark. I crossed that finish line though, and I felt like, yeah, I am an athlete, you know. I thought to those people around me, I must look like a god. Within half an hour, all my joints had seized together, and I was walking around like I shit myself. That's what I got now. Even though there's some Christians who are going to be seriously pissed off when they get to heaven. But no, before I go, actually, I'm just going to leave you guys in the audience here with a few words of advice. So if you're going to take anything from it, take this. Never take relationship advice from the Spice Girls, okay? And let me tell you why. Because no matter how many times they may insist it in their song Wannabe, if you want to be a girl's lover, under no circumstances should you get with her friends. You've been an awesome audience. Thank you very much.